everybody, Crystal here at the Fibromyalgia Pain Chronicles, coming to you today with my Fibro in 5, where I talk about a topic related to fibromyalgia and do my best to do so in 5 minutes or less. And today's topic that I will be touching upon is what causes fibromyalgia? Kind of a trick question because they don't really know what causes fibromyalgia. So unfortunately, more research and scientific overlook and studies and research need to be done to understand the etiology and causes of developing fibromyalgia. While they know it's a central nervous system disorder, they don't know what kind of CNS disorder it is, and they do not know what causes fibromyalgia. However, some triggers of developing fibromyalgia have been identified that basically increases your potential risk of developing fibromyalgia. And there's 4 identified triggers, and the first one is biogenetics. Genetics. If it runs in your family, you're more likely to develop fibromyalgia. I know personally that fibromyalgia runs on both sides of my family. On my mother's side, I have fibromyalgia. I have one cousin that has fibromyalgia. Another cousin who is male has fibromyalgia. I have an aunt that has fibromyalgia and a great aunt that has fibromyalgia. On my biological father's side, my biological father's sister, my aunt, and her daughter, my cousin, have fibromyalgia. So talk about a double whammy for me, right? However, just from my own personal experience, I can see why biogenetics could be a trigger for fibromyalgia. If it runs in your family, it might be a higher risk of developing fibromyalgia. Another trigger identified for potentially developing fibromyalgia is a serious physical injury, repetitive injury, surgery. So, for example, again, I guess I'll use myself here. I sustained a lot of injuries while I was in the military, and I've had a lot of surgeries as a result. So, so there's another point that I've had a lot of injuries and surgeries to address those injuries. And that is another identified trigger for fibromyalgia. Other physical injuries are like sports injuries, repetitive injuries, surgeries. Car accidents seem to show a high prevalence of people developing fibromyalgia, and some research has actually been done on it, and a doctor by the name of Dr. Mark Pellegrino out of Canton, Ohio, who also has fibromyalgia, and he's a pain medicine and rehabilitation doctor. He looked over over 3,000 patient cases, and the relationship between car accidents and those who had fibromyalgia, and he found that like individuals who were in a car accident that sustained whiplash were more likely to develop fibromyalgia than, let's say, someone who had a leg injury. So they found like over 60% of individuals who were in a car accident who developed like neck injuries, whiplash, ended up developing fibromyalgia, where 2% of people in a car accident with a leg injury developed fibromyalgia. Another trigger is a like serious physical illness such as like cancer and autoimmune disorder, Lyme's disease, Gulf War syndrome. Just to give some examples, that they find that if someone has a serious medical illness, this can increase the risk of developing fibromyalgia. And then ironically, if you have fibromyalgia, it increases the risk of developing an autoimmune disorder. Interesting. But the 4th identified trigger of developing fibromyalgia is a like traumatic emotional experience like PTSD. Let's say, you're a victim of assault, domestic abuse, sexual assault, you witness a murder, witness a catastrophic event like September 11th in the United States would be an example, that does increase your risk or potential likelihood to develop fibromyalgia. So there you have it. While they do not know the cause of fibromyalgia, they have identified those 4 triggers for potentially increasing the risk of developing fibromyalgia. So if you found this video helpful, informational, beneficial, please like and share. And until next time, take care and ta-ta for now.